Ciao ragazzi, my name is Orville Scott, and today I have to talk about two things. One, I have an announcement. So first of all, for me, school is coming up, which is why I wanted to get a lot of YouTube videos done, like a lot. That is why I keep on constantly uploading videos and stuff. And I'm sorry, I hope you guys don't see it as a spam. People from the video game community or the teenagers post community or on the everything YouTube community or on the YouTube gamers community or on my own community, which is Nerd War, and even to my friends, family, acquaintances, etc. Everyone that's in Google Plus who watches my videos, I apologize for, I guess, spamming, but you need to realize that I have so many topics to talk about, including this one. So I just want you guys to know why I'm doing this. So yeah. So now I received a question from my own cousin. His name is Dope Off Top. He's actually also a really good YouTuber. He's really funny. I'm gonna put a link in the description below, or maybe a link to his channel in the card section at the top right of the screen. So first of all, let's get down to business of what he asked. He said, Orville, can you do this DC Universe Online gameplay? And I'm like, sure. And I also realized that, hey, I could also probably talk about what I wanted to talk about, because there are two important topics that I wanted to talk about. One is about power. The other one is mostly about what is better, religion or science. And I wanted to talk about this in my Planetside 2 gameplays, which I've actually recorded like 2 months ago, but never got the time to edit. And I've recorded a lot of videos, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to spend time tomorrow looking at each video, seeing which one interests me, seeing which one doesn't interest me, and the ones that don't interest me, I'll just delete them. And then the ones that do interest me, I'll upload them to you guys. Or, I could just delete them all and just, start fresh, which would be easier. I may do that. But yeah, alright. So let's get started. So, of course, my cousin Dope Off Top asked me a question if I could do DCUO, gameplay and stuff. And just like I said just now, I want to talk about another thing. And this is about who would win, God or science. Now, before you click off this video, I just have a lot of things to say about this. Now, I think 2 or 1 week ago, I asked a lot of people, what was their perspective on life? Did they think their perspective on life was based on science, that as science evolves and scientific discovery evolves, we will learn more about the world? Did they really didn't care about, the meaning of life? Did they believe that our choices affect, history? Did they believe that God made the universe? In Allah, okay, technically they're the same thing. Or did they believe that everything happened for a reason? So I'm going to give you the statistics, right? So the people who believed in science was a percentage of 11%. For the I don't know and I don't care group, 35% voted on that one. 74% people said that choices affect history. 54% people said that God created the universe. And 26% people said everything happens for a reason. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is that choices affect history, but we're going to get more into that. I'm going to explain each of the 5, different perspectives on life that I've listed and asked a lot of people about. And what I'm going to do is, not only will I name the advantages of believing in that perspective, I'm also going to list the disadvantages. Alright, so just bear with me. So now as we look into science, which I guess would be the most logical thing to believe in. I mean, it's because of science that so many things have now, have now been brought to the light. Everything that has been in the dark has now been brought to light because of scientific discovery. Hey, some people probably before I guess scientific discovery was popular, some people didn't really think that there would be any proof of any other beings other than mankind, right? But now today we know that if a planet is illuminated by their sun, and if you see, like, I guess an opaque sort of feature on the surface. What I mean opaque, I mean, like, you know, if you see like a pollution, okay? If you see pollution, because if you look at Earth from space and the sun illuminates Earth, you would see that there would be pollution and stuff. And if any other planet has pollution, that means that there may be signs of life, or they may be trying to heat up their planet, you know, etc. So we never even knew that. It's because of science that we know how plants grow. It's because of science that we know whatchamacallit, we know the ages of rocks. Okay, science is the study of the nature of life, and that's what's really cool about science. Now, I like science, I respect science. Never have really understood it, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I know some things. So besides all that, why isn't it really logical to just believe in science? Well, if you're gonna just believe in science and believe that scientific discovery is logical to believe in because it shows the most proof, then you're really wrong. First of all, there's some questions that science can't even answer. So, what are those questions? Well, for example, why are we here? Things like that could be answered by other things, like maybe by religion, or maybe by believing that everything happens for a reason. But there are some things science can and will never answer. Okay? Personally, my belief in God basically comes from the question on why are we here? And, you know, whatever. So it isn't just logical to focus on science because, I mean, sure, you're going to spur a whole bunch of facts against a person, but you're also going to, I guess, make them feel stupid. Do you really want to make someone feel stupid? You know, just because you're spurring all these scientific facts and stuff? No. No. You got to look at two fronts. Let's move on to the people who said that they didn't know, they didn't care. Now that's logical as well because, you know, a person told me, Orville, don't worry about why, you know, what is the meaning of life, etc. It's really good not to really worry about things that you don't know. Okay? Maybe one day you'll find out, but whatever. The disadvantages of this is that it makes life so boring because life is a whole mystery. Life is a noun. And we use adjectives to describe life. And the fact that life, in my opinion, is a mystery, and you say that you don't really care about the meaning of life, I mean, in my opinion, that just seems wrong. You should care about the meaning of life. You should want to know more about life. But yeah. Now, I'm going to skip to religion, and I'm going to talk about choices later. Now, when it comes to religion, about God making the universe, why is this logical? Now, you may not think that there's any evidence to prove this. Well, think of it like this. Okay? The reason why God is so hard to be believed in is actually because that we can't see it. And I'm calling God an it, not a he, not a she, an it. Okay? And I'm sorry if I'm being disrespectful to any of you Christians or any of you Muslims. And look, I said Muslims because technically the Muslims also believe in God. God is Allah. According to Islam, according to the Islam religion, you know, Muhammad was God's final prophet, and he was like the best prophet and stuff. So yeah. So why is it logical to believe in that some super being made the universe? Well, first of all, God, what is God? All right, if you think of the concept or the idea of God, what is God? God is a person that creates and destroys. right? God is the thing that creates and destroys. It created, you know, the world. It created the universe, but it also destroys people who are evil. It also destroys those things. And if you look at it, it says that, you know, God created man in his image according to the Bible. Now, the other thing is the fact that, what about the devil? The devil also creates and destroys. The devil creates problems and destroys lives, right? So is there really a difference between God and the devil? Now, do you see where I'm going with this? I'm saying that maybe, let's say God isn't actually real, but the concept and the idea of him is real. If we look at God as what it is instead of it being an actual being, then maybe it's logical to say that we are all God. That we are all God. Think about it. Science even proves this. Okay? Now, I heard this from someone that the human body is made out of 4 elements that stars actually emit. I believe hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. Something like that. If stars emit that as a result of nuclear fusion expanding, okay? Nuclear fusion is the source of a star's power. So as nuclear fusion expands and the stars emit all these elements, okay? And basically we are made up of those 4 main elements. We could say that we aren't in the universe, but we are the universe. So we are a part of the universe. And the fact that that is the truth also results in us saying that, hey, if we are the universe, we could also say that we are God as well. And also think about it like this. We all create problems for other people. We've all destroyed lives. We've all hurt someone before. Sometimes we don't even know it, and that's the inhumanity of humanity. And sometimes we do notice it. But every single human on this earth also creates happiness, also makes someone smile. Every single human on this earth has an indulgence, and sometimes that indulgence is, you know, in love and stuff. You know, we've all had our happy moments, we've all had our sad moments, okay? We've all had problems that we destroyed and overcame. So if you look at God and the devil being an idea of creation and destruction, we could also say that we are God. Alright? Now, we may never figure out whether God is real or not until we die. But I mean, yeah, I would say it's pretty logical to believe in God. And it's also unlogical because we can't really see God. I mean, if I was God and I saw how screwed up the world was, I would change it. Like, ASAP. Someone told me that maybe God just wants us to have free will. I don't know, man. It's like if you were to create your own console and next you know it destroys itself. Again, I didn't say this before, but humanity will be the destruction of humanity. What we do is the destruction of us. We are our bane. Okay? So there are many reasons to believe that God is real, that Allah is real, and there are many reasons to believe that God isn't real, that Allah isn't real, etc. And there are other religions, but I don't really want to get into that. I mean, you know, why is Buddhism real? I mean, Buddha was a real person. Siddhartha, what's his name? Siddhartha Gautama? I forgot. But I know his first name was Siddhartha. There are actual people who, you know, hung out with Buddha and stuff and talk about him. Now, what about everything happening for a reason? Well, this also connects with religion, because if God is actually controlling our lives and, you know, also making sure that certain people, you know, do certain things, then, I mean, I guess you can also say it's logical to believe that everything happens for a reason. The bad part about this is the fact that if this is the case, then it's sick how God decides who will be successful and who won't be successful. But again, you know, it depends. Now, what about choices affecting millions of people? That's something I also want to get and talk about. You see, guys, if it wasn't for people's choices, there wouldn't really be a future. Every single choice a person makes results in a future, and everyone contributes to that future. Okay? And the sad part about it is, about it is the fact that we don't know what choices will actually help us or hurt us in life. I mean, one motivator, one philosopher would say that don't be afraid to fail. I mean, you can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. Another philosopher or motivator would say, pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or a day or even a year. Eventually it will subside or something else will take its place. But if you quit, it will last forever. Now, you know who said those quotes? Arnold Schwarzenegger believed that it's okay to fail, it's okay to make decisions. However, Eric Thomas believed that if you quit, that's it. Now, me being a student, especially in school, I take a lot of things seriously. Like, I'm actually battling the fact of, okay, should I choose this college course or should I have chosen that college course? And I mean, I don't know which one is going to affect me the most. And that's the sad thing. Now, I do have The Witcher 3. Oh, why the hell are you talking about The Witcher 3? Well, this is important. In The Witcher 3, okay, in The Witcher 3, there are thousands of choices you make in the game. There are thousands of choices. However, if you do your research, you realize that the ending of The Witcher 3, which there are only 3 endings, but the ending of The Witcher 3 is a result of like 2 or 3 choices you've made in the game. And that's out of like more than 1,000 choices you've made in the game. So I started thinking, is The Witcher 3 a prime example in showing maybe how there are certain choices in our life that just affect us? Maybe how there are certain choices in our life that just result in catastrophes or in a utopia of the mind? And it's sad too. Now, let me get back to talking about how everything may happen for a reason. Now, there is another thing known as, another game, known as BioShock Infinite. One of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. It had a really good ending, a really convoluted ending. It was both complex and delightful, but once you understood it, you understood the meaning of the game. Now, in the game, they gave you an illusion, sort of. They would make you believe that you could make choices in the game when in actuality you couldn't. I remember there was this one part where a pastor in the game, and the game is also very religious, the pastor wanted me to be baptized, but I didn't want to be baptized. But however, I had no choice, so I got baptized. Another one was where I had to flip a coin, but it didn't give me any other choices, so I just decided to flip the coin. What I'm trying to say is this. The Witcher 3 represents how choices will affect millions of actions, and the BioShock Infinite represents how everything may happen for a reason. And that also relates to religion. I mean, if you really think about it, if God actually decides who becomes successful or not, that's kind of sick. Like I said before, that is kind of sick. But it also relates to choices, because if everything happens for a reason, and that reason is because of the choice we made, then that also makes logical sense. So do you guys see how the perspective of believing in science, believing that choices affect history, believing in religion, or believing that everything happens for a reason, all connect? And they even connect with, people not knowing what to believe, people not really caring what to believe. Because you shouldn't really waste your time on things you don't really know, right? It's like if a person never went to school and they were asked, what is 9 times 4? Now the person asking would already know that 9 times 4 would equal 36, right? However, the person that you're asking doesn't know that. The person who never went to school doesn't know that. So the 35% of people who didn't really care, didn't really know what life was, they're also logical in what they say. So so let me give the verdict real quick. So my title of this video was, who would win, God or science? And here's the answer. It is logical to be well-rounded. Always look at two sides of the same coin. You may not believe in God, fine, but yet also believe that maybe there's something that can never be proven with facts or even opinion, if anything like that ever existed. Look at it. In terms of fact, okay, what's right and wrong is really solid, but in terms of opinion, what is right and wrong is diminishing every single step. What is 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's a fact. But if someone had an opinion saying that 2 plus 2 equals 5, and they said, oh, in my opinion, I believe 2 plus 2 equals 5. I mean, that would be wrong, right? But they would believe it's right because it's their opinion. But someone on the other side of the world would believe it's wrong. But in my opinion, I think it's really logical to be well-rounded. Have an opinion about everything. Have an opinion about two sides of the same coin. That way, when something gets proven to you, you won't really be surprised. It's logical to both believe that scientific discovery, will evolve as we grow up, but also to believe that maybe there's some things that can't be answered by facts of science or opinions of religious people and philosophers. That maybe those answers of why humanity has come to be or why humans are even here can only be answered by a superior being. It's logical, in my opinion. And look, people, and I think it's a fact that people who are well-rounded and different perspectives also tend to have better conversations with people. So yeah. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to Dope Off Top. Again, he's my cousin. He was the one who asked me to both do a DC Universe gameplay video, and I decided, to talk about this major topic in my video as well. I'm sorry this video is also too long. I tend to be verbose when it comes to speaking and also writing. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great night or day, whatever time you're watching. And make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, be a warrior.